All right, this is exercise 5. Oh, this looks like an interesting little design. How are we going to do it? We've been working with various tools on represent shapes when we're sketching. I don't think we have a shape for this right here. But if I look at it closely enough, it looks like we have a circle, okay, or an arc, but we'll use the circle tool in this particular case, with one end that comes off as a square. So here's the center of the circle. We know that the radius is 45 millimeters where that circle ends and the straight part starts. We know it's 45 going this direction too. So what if we drew a circle, okay, 32 millimeters. So that's going to be what? A diameter of 64 millimeters. Then from the center point, we drew a 45 by 45 millimeter square, trim away the internal part, okay, offset it. Well, we might have something. Now, how do we find the starting point? That's another good question. Well, we know the center point to center point here is 126 millimeters. And we know that the center point from here to here is 126 millimeters. So what if I drew a square? Sorry for the phone ringing. They're doing a test of our emergency notification system. And for some reason, they're calling my work phone and not the home phone. You would assume if I need to be emergency, I'm not going to be here. So 126 by 126 millimeters square. That would give us this framework. We would draw our first one. Now we're only going to draw one of these shapes, okay? And then we're going to use the mirror tool to mirror this one to here. Then we'll mirror both of them to down here. All right, let's see if we can do this. I haven't done this project that often. There's my sketch from the previous attempt. First thing to look at, let's go back to our dimension sheet. What orientation we're going to start with? It looks like we're going to build from the bottom up. So we're going to start our sketch on the top bottom plane. Let's close this, create sketch. XY plane, there it is. Top bottom plane. I know I'm on the top bottom plane because my view cube up here is showing top. Let's start off with a rectangle, rectangle, okay? This rectangle, we've been using the 2-point, starts from one corner and moves to another corner. This one starts from the middle. Let's use the origin as the middle of our design. Good policy there, always. It's 126 millimeters by 126 millimeters. So the rectangle then expands from the center. Okay? So there's my 4 center points. I'll have shapes here, 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 and here. So let's go back. Let's get our measurements again. So my center diameter circle I'm going to draw from this corner will have a radius of 45 millimeters, which means it will be 90 millimeters in diameter. Okay, the inner one will be 64. So we're going to draw 2 circles. Center diameter circle, here's my point, 90 millimeters. There we are. The second one, 64, I believe it was. There we are. All right, let's draw a 2-point rectangle then from the center point, 45 by 45. All right, so see how my circle comes up here and joins with my square. Now we've got a lot of excess in here we're going to need to trim away. So let's go ahead and get to that. Let's modify trim. All right, so my circle comes up and we're going to want to pick up the square here. So I'm going to trim away this. Is that right? I think it's going to be right. Okay, there's that. Actually, did I want that circle? Let's get rid of that circle for a moment. Let's see if we can work without that. All right. Let's clean this up a little bit. Right there we are. And there's my square. Okay, 45 by 45. That looks good. Let's get rid of these interior lines. And this interior portion of the line. Now, let's look at our shape. I think we might have something. Let's go back and look at our design. That looks like our shape. All right. Let's take that and offset, modify, offset. Let's select, there's our shape. And we are going to offset by -13 because that's the width. All right, there we are. Now I'm curious if this is going to work. This might not work. Is what I need to do yet. All right, let's move this up a little tighter so it's not in our way so much. There's our shape. That looks right. Let's trim away this portion of the line here and here. Okay. Now this is part of my dimension line. We can move this around and you'll see how that goes away. Now, I didn't want to do that yet. Let's undo so that portion of the line comes back. Oh, undo again. There we are. Now I have this shape. I want to mirror this. Actually, I could have done it. Let's redo. All right. Let's try mirror. Yes, it's only selecting that, so it will work. All right, escape out of that. Don't do this yet. What I need to do is create lines to mirror by. You can mirror both in the 3D and two-dimensional modes. Now, when you're in 2D, you need lines to mirror by. When you're 3D, you need a plane to mirror by. So I'm going to create a construction line. Turn on construction. I'm going to start on this axis, draw down to the origin, and then I'm going to draw across here. So I've got two construction planes in it. Why did it not? What did I do? There we go. Let's draw this one. There we are. So there's one mirror line and a second mirror line. Let's turn construction off. Now let's go create mirror. What mirror will do? I'm going to select what I want to mirror. Here, 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 this. All right, so there's my shape. And I want to mirror that to this side over here. So let's go 7 items are selected. My mirror line. Now let's change our selection to mirror line. This is the center point. This mirror line is the center point, the line I just drew. So it's going to put these items I selected, an equal distance on the other side of the mirror line. So I'm going to select the mirror line and the same perspective. There we are. Those are mirrored. Click OK. There, so we have that in place. Now, I have another mirror line here. I want to mirror these two aspects of my design. Okay, I can go ahead and trim away this internal portion. All right, so I'm going to select these two. Let's go create mirror. There's the shortcut. Objects to select. Let's see what this does. I go right like that. Okay, I got a good portion of it. Let's add this and this, and I believe that's complete. I'm going to deselect that because I should have trimmed that away. Let's select the mirror line. This time we're going to go to the opposite side of this mirror line. It's projecting it out. Looks good. Click OK. All right, let's trim away because I want this to start looking like one enclosed shape. So what do I need to trim away? Let's go modify, trim. Let's get rid of this. And this. Don't need these interior lines. Right there, right there, and here. Let's see where we're at. One enclosed shape at the moment. Okay, very good. Now, we've got a couple other details we need to add. I'm about out of time on this video, so I'm going to stop us right here, process this video, and start part 2 in just a moment.